Before we start with the discounted dividend valuation, let me just very quickly discuss these four terms first. So let me discuss the confusion that's there at times between dividend payout ratio, dividend per share, dividend yield and dividend rate. So let me clear the confusion on this and then we'll start with the reading discounted dividend valuation. So everyone over here, when you're looking at dividend payout ratio is basically the amount of dividend given, let's say dividend divided by your total earnings. Now you can take it in two ways, that is your total dividend by total earnings. When you're talking about total earnings, that's the total earnings available for equity shareholders. Total earnings available for equity shareholders. That is, interest has been deducted, tax has been deducted, your preference dividend has been deducted, and then whatever is available is the earnings available for equity shareholders. So that is what is the total earnings available for equity shareholders. So total dividend by total earnings available for equity shareholders, which is the same as dividend per share divided by earning per share, dividing both the numerator and the denominator with the number of shares. Dividing both the numerator and the denominator by the number of shares, we get dividend per share divided by earnings per share. We get dividend per share divided by earnings per share. So dividend payout ratio is the proportion of earnings that is being paid out to the shareholders. Out of the total earnings available for the shareholders, what proportion of it is being paid out to the equity shareholders is the dividend payout ratio. How do you calculate this value, dividend per share? So when you're looking at dividend per share, it is a dollar amount of dividend paid per share to the equity shareholders. It is a dollar amount per share paid per share, dollar amount paid per share to the equity shareholders. That is your dividend per share. That is the dividend per share. How do you calculate the dividend per share? That is going to be your dividend rate multiplied by the face value of the share. So dividend rate is a rate paid on, is a rate calculated on the face value of the share, not the fair value, the face value. So whatever, say for example, it's $100 nominal face value, $1 nominal face value, $10 face value share. So on the face value, you multiply dividend rate with the face value, not the market price, because it will create a lot of confusion as to what is the market price on which you're paying the dividend. So the dividend is going to be calculated on the face value. Dividend rate into face value gives you the dividend per share. Dividend per share as a proportion of earning per share gives you the dividend payout ratio. So what is your dividend yield? When you're looking at dividend yield, that is D1 by P0 generally. So when we are using the Gordon growth formula, I hope you guys all know Gordon growth formula obviously, that is D1 by RE minus G, P0 is equal to D1 by RE minus G. We are just going to be proving that formula as well. We will prove the formula D1 by RE minus G. So D1 by P0 is your dividend yield. When you're talking about dividend yield, it is calculated on market price. The reason for calculating it is giving the yield, that this is the P0 that I'm investing, this is the amount that I'm actually investing. You're not bothered about what is the face value of the share. This is about the amount that I'm investing. I'm investing P0 amount on which D1 is the part of yield that I'm getting in the form of dividend, in the form of cash flow in the year, and G will be the part of the return that I'm going to get it separately. That is why D1 by P0 plus G is equal to your RE. Your required return has got two parts, two components. One is the dividend yield part and the second is the growth component. So dividend yield is the yield I'm being able to generate, I'm receiving on my market price, on my investment value. So when you're calculating yield, when you calculate yield, it is going to be calculated on the market price. In fact, even if you are comparing the fixed income section, coupon rate is rate that is calculated on face value. Coupon yield, current yield is calculated on the market price. So instead of getting confused and mugging up the terms absolutely irrationally, you need to understand these ideas. It is never coupon yield, it is coupon rate. When you're calculating coupon into face value, it is always current yield because the yield is calculated on your investment. Discount rate is calculated on the ending price. It is a yield that is always calculated on the beginning investment value. So understand the concepts, because someone has created all these things and there is always a logic behind these things, right? Is everyone absolutely comfortable? So these are the differences between your dividend rates. Just one more thing and then I'll give you time to copy this. Another part where I see people getting confused is, now say suppose this is the dividend declaration date. So on this date, the company declared that dividends are going to be paid, let's say at the rate of 10% to the employees. And this has become the record date. So basically, what do you understand by record date? I'm just clearing the confusion part first, then I'll move into the reading. So the record date is a date on which whoever has the shares holding in their name, whoever's holding those shares are going to be receiving dividends. Now, who will be having the shares in their name over here? Whoever has bought the shares until here, whoever has received the, whoever has been holding the shares until here, let's say it is a T+2 transaction day. Just understand, it's very simple. Suppose 20th of September is your record date. So basically, whoever's got the shares in their name as on 20th of September will be receiving dividend. Now, whoever's purchased the shares 18th September or before will be having the shares on 20th September in their demat accounts. Because if you purchase it on 19th, it takes 2 transactions days, T+2 days, it takes 2 days extra post the transaction for your shares to get delivered, to get credited to your demat account. So if someone purchases the shares on 19th of September, they will get the shares in their name on 21st of September. So all those getting the shares until the 18th of September will be getting the dividend on the dividend that has been promised. Because if for those who got the shares, who purchased the shares by 18th of September, will be having the shares in their name on the 20th of September. Is that correct? For those who purchase the shares on 18th of September, will get the shares in their demat account by 20th. So they have the shares on 20th, so they will get the dividend. So the shares will be trading. So this becomes the ex-dividend date. Before this, the share prices will be including dividend. After this, the share prices will be ex-dividend. The dividend amount will not be included in the share price post this date. It is not the record date, but it is a couple of days before, depending on your number of transaction days. Based on that, on this date, your share price will be trading cum dividend over here and ex-dividend post this date. Your share price is going to be trading at cum dividend over here, and it is going to be trading at ex-dividend beyond this date. Because for those who purchased till 18th September, will get the shares in their demat account on 20th. So all those who have purchased the shares on 18th will have it on the 20th in their name, and they will be getting the dividend. This is one confusion point that I see in case of dividends. Is everybody absolutely comfortable till here? Everyone sure? Agreed till here?